The morning started like any other on the farming world of New Harvest. The two suns were rising over the golden wheat fields, and the air smelled of fresh earth and growing plants. Kim Dae-ho was sitting in his office, looking at reports about how well the crops were growing this season. He was the leader of the colony, and 50,000 people depended on him to keep everything running smoothly. Park Soo-jin knocked on his door and walked in with a cup of coffee. She was young, maybe 25, with kind eyes and a smile that made everyone feel better on bad days. She worked as his assistant and helped him with all the paperwork that came with running a colony. "The harvest numbers look good this year," she said, setting the coffee on his desk. "The new farming machines are working better than we hoped." Dae-ho nodded and took a sip of his coffee. Life was good on New Harvest. They were far from Earth, far from any wars or troubles. They grew food, raised families, and lived in peace. The colony had been here for 15 years, and nothing bad had ever happened. That changed in the next 5 minutes. The warning sirens started screaming across the colony. Park Soo-jin dropped her coffee cup, and it broke on the floor. Kim Dae-ho jumped up from his chair and ran to the big window that looked out over the fields. The sky was wrong. Instead of the usual blue color, it was getting darker. But this was not clouds or a storm. Huge black ships were coming down from space, bigger than anything Kim Dae-ho had ever seen. They looked like floating cities made of dark metal that seemed to eat the light around them. "What are those?" Park Soo-jin whispered, her voice shaking. More ships kept coming, 10, 20, 50 of them. They moved slowly, like they had all the time in the world.
Ow.
The people in the fields below were running, leaving their work and racing toward the colony buildings. Lee Min-ho came running into the office. He was the colony's best engineer, a man who could fix anything and build anything. But right now, he looked scared. "Sir, we need to send a message to Earth right now," he said, breathing hard. "These ships are not human. They are not from any world we know about." Kim Dae-ho felt his heart beating fast. "Send the message." "Them, we need help." Lee Min-ho ran to the communication room. His fingers moved quickly over the controls as he sent out a signal into space. "This is New Harvest Colony, calling any Earth ships. We are being attacked by unknown enemies. Please help us. We have 50,000 people here." Alien ships were getting closer. Kim Dae-ho could see details now. They had strange symbols on their sides, and parts of them glowed with a red light that hurt to look at. Gunports were opening along their holes, pointing down at the colony. Then the aliens spoke. Their voice came through every speaker in the colony, harsh and ugly like metal scraping against stone. "Humans of this world, we are the Vorthok hegemony. You have 72 hours to surrender to us. Give up now, and some of you will live as our workers. Fight us, and we will kill every person on this world." Choi Hejin, the colony's security chief, was already organizing the evacuation. She was a tough woman who had served in the Earth's military before coming to New Harvest. She knew about fighting, but she also knew they had no real weapons here. The colony had a few security guards and some hunting rifles, but nothing that could fight alien warships. Everyone to the underground shelters. She ordered over the colony's speakers. "Take only what you need. Move quickly, but do not panic." Families were running through the streets. Parents carried small children, and older kids helped their grandparents walk. The colonists had practiced evacuation drills before, but this was not a drill. This was real. Park Soo-jin grabbed Kim Dae-ho's arm. "My son is at the school. I have to get him." "Go," Kim Dae-ho said. "Meet us at Shelter 7. She ran out of the office, and Kim Dae-ho was alone for a moment. He looked out at the colony he had helped build, at the homes where families lived, at the fields that fed thousands of people. The alien ships were so close now that he could see smaller ships coming out of them, heading toward the ground. Lee Min-ho came back, his face pale. "I sent the message, but sir, we are very far from Earth. Even if they send help right away, it will take days to get here, maybe weeks." Kim Dae-ho nodded. He understood. They were alone, and they had less than 3 days before the aliens would attack. 50,000 people were counting on him to keep them safe. But he had no idea how to fight an enemy from space. The first alien landing ships touched down in the fields outside the colony. Soldiers in strange armor began marching toward the buildings. The siege of New Harvest had begun, and there was nowhere to run. 300 light-years away from New Harvest, Admiral Yoon Jae-sung was drinking his morning tea when the message arrived. He was sitting in his office at the United Earth Federation Naval Command, looking out at the stars through a large window. At 60 years old, he had seen many wars and fought many battles. But today was supposed to be quiet. Lieutenant Han So-young ran into his office without knocking. She was young and smart, one of the best communication officers in the fleet. Her face was white with worry. "Sir, we just got an emergency message from New Harvest Colony," she said, her voice shaking. "They are under attack by aliens called the Vorthok Hegemony. 50,000 people are in danger." Admiral Yoon put down his teacup. New Harvest was a farming colony, far from any military bases. The people there grew food and lived peaceful lives. They had no weapons to fight alien warships. "How long ago did they send this message?" he asked. "The message is 12 hours old, sir. It took that long to reach us." Admiral Yoon stood up and walked to his window. For 3 years, he had been keeping a secret. The biggest secret in human history. The government had told him to keep it quiet until the right time came. Looking at the stars now, he knew that time was today. "Get me Dr. Kang Woo-jin," he ordered, "and tell Captain Seo Dong-wook to prepare his squadron for immediate launch." Han So-young looked confused. "Sir, what squadron? We don't have any ships. Close enough to help New Harvest." Admiral Yoon smiled for the first time that day. "Lieutenant, let me show you something that will change everything." He led her down to the lower levels of the space station. Past doors marked with warning signs and guarded by serious-looking soldiers, they came to a room full of computer screens and control panels. Dr. Kang Woo-jin was already there. A thin man with gray hair and tired eyes. "Doctor, it's time," Admiral Yoon said simply. Dr. Kang nodded and pressed some buttons. The wall in front of them became transparent, showing the space outside the station. Han So-young gasped at what she saw. 12 ships were floating in space, unlike any human ship she had ever seen. They were smaller than the big warships she knew about, but they looked deadly. Their hulls were black and smooth, and they had weapons that looked like they could punch holes through anything. "What are those?" she whispered. "The Wraith-class gunships," Dr. Kang explained. "We have been building them in secret for 3 years. They are faster than any alien ship, and their weapons are more powerful than anything the galaxy has ever seen." Admiral Yoon looked at the ships with pride. "When the first alien attack started happening, we knew we needed something special. These ships are humanity's answer to the alien threat. They can jump through space faster than any enemy ship, and they can fight 10 times their size." On one of the ships, Captain Seo Dong-wook was getting ready for battle. He was 35 years old, the best pilot in the human fleet. He had been training for this moment for 2 years, but he never knew when it would come. His ship was called the Soul's Fury, and it was beautiful in a deadly way. The weapons could fire metal slugs at incredible speed, fast enough to go right through alien armor. The engines could push the ship faster than any human had ever traveled before. "All pilots, this is Wraith Leader," Captain Seo said into his radio. "Today we show the galaxy what humans can do when someone hurts our people." The other 11 ships had pilots just as skilled as Captain Seo. Kim Hyun-woo flew the Bisons. Rath Jung-min-soo controlled the Inchin's Pride, and Choi Jamin commanded the Daegu's Revenge. Each pilot knew that the lives of 50,000 people depended on them. Dr. Kang had designed these ships after studying every alien attack for the past 5 years. He learned how alien ships moved, how their weapons worked, and how their armor was built, and he made ships that could beat all of those things. "The aliens think we are weak because we live on farms and in peaceful colonies," Dr. Kang told Admiral Yoon. "They don't know that we have been preparing for war since the first day we met them." Admiral Yoon nodded. "How long until the squadron reaches New Harvest?" 6 hours, sir. "The new engines are very fast." Han So-young was still staring at the ships, sir. "Why didn't anyone tell us about these ships?" "Because if the aliens knew we had them, they would have been ready for us," Admiral Yoon explained. Surprise is our best weapon. The Vorthok hegemony thinks they are attacking helpless farmers. They have no idea that humanity's most powerful warships are about to arrive. The Wraith Squadron powered up their engines. Space around them began to bend and twist as they prepared to jump through hyperspace. In a few hours, they would reach New Harvest, and the aliens would learn that humans were not as helpless as they looked. Captain. Seo looked at the stars one more time before the jump. Hold on, New Harvest, he said quietly. Help is coming. On New Harvest, the second day of the siege was much worse than the first. Kim Dae-ho sat in the underground shelter, listening to the sounds of destruction above. The aliens were not just attacking the colony buildings now. They were destroying everything they could find. Through the small windows in the shelter, you could see alien soldiers walking through the streets. They were tall and thin, with gray skin and 4 arms. Their faces looked like insects, with big black eyes and sharp teeth. They wore armor that glowed with a strange blue light, and they carried weapons that made horrible buzzing sounds when they fired. Park Soo-jin was sitting next to him, holding her 6-year-old son, Kim Tae-woo. The boy was trying to be brave, but his eyes were wide with fear. He had never seen anything scary before coming to New Harvest. This was supposed to be a safe place for families. Why are they destroying our homes? The boy asked quietly. Park Soo-jin did not know what to say. She looked at Kim Dae-ho with helpless eyes. Dr. Lim Najin came over to them. She was the colony's best scientist, a woman who understood computers and technology better than anyone else. She had been studying the aliens through the shelter's sensors. I think I know what they really want, she said, keeping her voice low so the children would not hear. They are not just here to conquer us. They are looking for something specific. Kim Dae-ho frowned. What could we have that they want? We are just farmers. Or quantum computers, Dr. Lim explained. The ones we use to control the farming machines and manage the crops. The aliens think we are hiding advanced technology. They believe human colonies have secret weapons or supercomputers. This was bad news. The quantum computers were the most valuable things in the colony. They made it possible to grow enough food to feed 50,000 people. Without them, everyone would starve. Lee Min-ho came running into the shelter. His clothes were torn and dirty, and he had a cut on his forehead. He had been trying to fix the communication equipment so they could send more messages to Earth. They found me, he said, breathing hard. The aliens are getting angry. They want to know where our advanced technology is hidden. They think we are lying to them. Outside, they could hear the alien commander speaking through loudspeakers. His voice was deep and frightening, like the sound of rocks falling down a mountain. Humans, you have not been honest with us? We know you have powerful technology hidden in this colony. Tell us where it is, or we will start killing your people. Kim Dae-ho felt his heart sink. The aliens did not understand that New Harvest was just a farming colony. They thought humans were more advanced than they really were. The alien commander continued speaking. You have 1 hour to bring us your technology. If you do not, we will execute 500 of your people as punishment. Choi Hai-jin, the security chief, was listening to the alien radio signals on her equipment. Was grim as she translated what she heard. They are choosing people randomly, she said. Families, old people, children, do not care who they kill. Park Soo-jin held her son tighter. Around them, other families were crying quietly. Everyone knew that some of them would not survive this day. The hour passed quickly. Kim Dae-ho tried to think of something, anything that might save his people. But what could he do? The aliens had huge spaceships and powerful weapons. The colonists had farming tools and a few security guards. When the hour was up, alien soldiers began dragging people out of the shelters. They grabbed whoever they could catch first. An old man who grew vegetables, a young woman who taught, children, teenager who helped repair the farming machines. Kim Dae-ho watched through the shelter window as 500 people were forced to stand in the colony's main square. The alien commander stood in front of them, his forearms crossed, and his black eyes showing no emotion. This is what happens when humans lie to us, the alien said. His soldiers raised their weapons. Park Soo-jin covered her son's eyes. but she could not stop herself from watching. These were her friends, her neighbors, people she had known for years. Mrs. Kim, who made the best rice cakes, Mr. Park, who always helped fix broken things, Young Song, who was going to get married next month. The alien weapons fired with bright flashes of light. The sound was terrible, like thunder that would not stop. When it was over, 500 people were dead, and the colony square was silent. Kim Dae-ho felt anger burning in his chest. These aliens had come to their peaceful world and turned it into a nightmare. They had killed innocent people who had never hurt anyone. "Where is Earth?" he whispered, looking up at the sky. "Where are the ships that are supposed to protect us?" "Oh." Alien Commander spoke again. "You have 24 hours to give us your technology. If you do not, we will kill 1,000 people tomorrow, and 2,000 the next day. We will keep killing until you tell us what we want to know." The colonists had no choice now. They had to find a way to fight back, or everyone would die. But how could farmers and scientists fight alien warships? The answer was coming, but they did not know it yet. The third day started with more death. Kim Dae-ho watched from the shelter as the alien commander prepared to kill another 1,000 people. The square was filled with colonists who had been dragged from their hiding places. Children were crying, and parents were trying to comfort them. "Please," Kim Dae-ho said into his radio, hoping somehow his words would reach Earth. "If anyone can hear this, we need help now. They are killing us." The alien commander raised his forearms, and his soldiers pointed their weapons at the helpless people. This was going to be worse than yesterday, much worse. Then something impossible happened. The sky exploded with light. 12 black ships appeared. Out of nowhere, dropping out of hyperspace right above the colony. They were smaller than the big alien warships, but they moved like living things, fast and deadly. Their hulls were smooth and dark, and they had weapons that looked like they could cut through anything. Park Soo-jin grabbed Kim Dae-ho's arm. "What are those?" she whispered. "I don't know," he said, but his heart was beating with hope for the first time in 3 days. Captain Seo Dong-wook sat in the command chair of the Soul's Fury, looking down at the alien ships below. His squadron had jumped out of hyperspace at exactly the right moment. The aliens were about to murder innocent people, but not anymore. "All ships, this is Wraith Leader," he said into his radio. "We have 12 alien warships and about 200 ground soldiers. Our mission is to save those people and destroy the enemy fleet." The other 11 ships spread out in attack formation. Kim Hyun-woo in the Bison's Wrath took the left side. Jung Min-soo in the Inchin's Pride went right. Choi Jamin in the Daigu's Revenge dove straight down toward the biggest alien ship. Aliens were completely surprised. They had been watching the colony, not the sky. Their ships were not ready for battle. Some of them were still powered down, and their weapons were not charged. "Open fire," Captain Seo ordered. The Wraith ships fired their railguns. These weapons shot pieces of metal faster than lightning, so fast that they went right through the alien shields like they were made of paper. The first alien ship exploded in a ball of fire. The second one started spinning out of control, its engines destroyed. The alien commander on the ground looked up at the sky with his 4 black eyes. He had never seen ships like these before. They were too small to be dangerous, but they were destroying his fleet like it was nothing. "These ships," he screamed into his radio. "Where did they come from?" His question was answered by Lieutenant Na Yoon-young, communication officer on the Soul's Fury. She sent a message to all the alien ships at once. "This is the United Earths Federation Navy," she said, her voice calm and strong. "You have attacked our people and murdered our citizens. Surrender now, or we will destroy every one of your ships." The alien commander laughed. "Humans, you are just farmers and weak scientists. You cannot fight the mighty Vorthok hegemony." Captain Seo heard this and smiled. "Let's show them how wrong they are." The human ships began their attack. They moved like dancers in space, spinning and diving between the alien vessels. The Vorthok ships were big and powerful, but they were also slow and clumsy. They could not turn fast enough to keep up with the human ships. Kim Hyun-woo fired his weapons at the alien ship's engines. The railgun shots went right through the armor, and exploded inside the ship. The alien vessel stopped moving and began drifting in space. Jung Min-soo attacked the alien weapon systems. His precise shots destroyed the gun turrets one by one, leaving the enemy ship helpless and unable to fight back. Choi Jamin went after the alien command ship. This was the biggest vessel in the fleet, the one that was giving orders to all the others. His railgun shots hit it again and again until pieces of alien metal were floating through space. Down on the ground, the alien soldiers were panicking. They had never seen their mighty warships defeated so easily. Some of them started running away from the colony, leaving their weapons behind. The alien commander was furious. Impossible. No human technology can defeat our ships. The battle was already over. In just 20 minutes, the human squadron had destroyed or disabled all 12 alien warships. The few ships that were still working were trying to escape. But the human ships were too fast. Captain Seo spoke to the alien commander directly. Your fleet is destroyed. Soldiers are defeated. Surrender now, and we will let you live. Alien commander looked around at his burning ships and his scared soldiers. He had come to New Harvest thinking he was attacking helpless farmers. Instead, he had found the most dangerous warships he had ever seen. This is impossible, he said. Again, you are just a farming colony. No, Captain Seo replied. We're humans, and we protect our own. The colonists in the shelters were watching through the windows, hardly believing what they were seeing. Their quiet farming world had become a battlefield, and somehow, amazingly, the humans were winning. Kim Dae-ho felt tears in his eyes. Help had come at last. The battle in space was over, but the fighting on the ground was just beginning. Captain Seo Dong-wook left his ship and put on his power armor. It was a metal suit that made him look like a giant robot, with weapons built into the arms and legs. The armor was painted with the colors of Earth, blue and white, and it had the symbol of the United Earth Federation on the chest. Behind him, 50 human Marines were getting ready for battle. They had been waiting in the cargo holds of the Wraith ships, and now it was time to save the colonists. Each Marine wore the same kind of power armor, and they carried weapons that could punch through alien shields. Remember Captain Seo said, "To his soldiers, we are here to save people, not to destroy everything. Be careful where you shoot." The human soldiers dropped from their ships using jetpacks. They landed in the colony square like falling stars right in the middle of the alien troops. The aliens had never seen anything like this before. These humans looked like metal giants. Their weapons were louder than thunder. Kim Dae-ho watched from the shelter window as the human Marines began fighting the alien soldiers. The aliens were taller and had 4 arms, but the humans were stronger and faster. Their armor protected them from alien weapons, and their guns could destroy alien soldiers with one shot. The alien commander tried to run away, but Captain Seo caught him near the communication building. The alien was almost 7 feet tall. With gray skin and black eyes that looked like a bug's eyes, he wore fancy armor with gold decorations that showed he was important. "You cannot defeat the Vorthok hegemony," the alien commander said, his voice shaking with fear. "We have conquered 100 worlds. We are the strongest species in the galaxy." Captain Seo took off his helmet so the alien could see his face. He was a young man, maybe 35 years old, with kind eyes and a strong jaw. He did not look like a monster or a killer. He looked like someone who might be your neighbor or your friend. "You made a mistake," Captain Seo said calmly. "Thought we were weak because we choose to grow food instead of fighting wars. You thought we were helpless because we'd build homes instead of weapons?" The alien commanders for arms were shaking. "But you are just farmers and scientists. How do you have such powerful weapons?" Captain Seo smiled. "Because we are human. We have been looking at the stars for thousands of years, wondering what was out there. We found out there were other species in the galaxy. We hoped we could be friends. We also prepared for war, just in case." Park Soo-jin came out of the shelter with her son Kim Tae-woo. The little boy had never seen a real soldier before, and he stared at Captain Seo with wide eyes. The captain knelt down so he could talk to the boy face to face. "Are you the one who saved us?" the boy asked. My friends and I helped, Captain Seo said gently. But you were very brave too. You stayed strong when things were scary. Dr. Lim Dejen was checking on the colonists who had been hurt. Many people were injured, and some were still scared. But they were alive, and that was what mattered most. Many ships do you have? She asked Captain Seo. More than you might think, he replied. We have been building them for 3 years. The squadron is just the beginning. Lee Min-ho was working on the communication equipment, trying to contact Earth. When he finally got through, Admiral Yoon Jae-sung appeared on the screen. The Admiral looked tired but happy. New Harvest Colony, this is Admiral Yoon. Are you safe? Kim Dae-ho stepped forward. Yes, sir. The human fleet saved us, but we lost many people. Admiral Yoon's face became serious. I am sorry for your losses, but I want you to know that this attack has changed everything. The galaxy will learn that. Humans are not easy targets anymore. The alien commander was listening to this conversation, and his face showed fear. How many ships do you have? He asked. Admiral Yoon looked at the alien with cold eyes. We have 300 squadrons, just like the one that defeated your fleet, and we are building more every day. The alien commander fell to his knees. The Vorthok hegemony had never faced an enemy like this. It always won their wars by being bigger and stronger than everyone else. But these humans were different. They were smart, and they were prepared. The Vorthok hegemony will leave human space, the alien commander said. We will not attack your colonies again. Good, Captain Seo said. Because if you do, we will be ready for you. Over the next few days, more human ships arrived at New Harvest. They brought doctors and engineers to help fix the colony. They also brought news that other alien species were starting to respect humans for the first. Kim Dae-ho stood in the colony square where 500 people had died just days before. Now there were flowers there, planted by the children, to remember the people they had lost. The alien ships were gone, and the sky was blue again. Park Soo-jin stood next to him with her son. Will they come back? She asked. Kim Dae-ho looked up at the stars. Maybe, but if they do, we will be ready. Farmers and scientists of New Harvest had learned something important. They were not helpless. They were human.